guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. We have another episode about life experiences. I have my guest Dami. You're very welcome to my channel. Please, would you like to introduce to the people?
Thank you. Hi, my name is Oluwadamilare and I am a guest on this amazing show.
Yes, thank you, Oluwadamilare. Because I saw your name on like Facebook, and I think at first I had the challenge to pronounce it. I was like, how do I pronounce this name? Because it's together.
Yeah,
do you have struggle when people want to pronounce your name like fully? What to call your name?
So usually, to just avoid that, whenever I introduce myself to people, I just go by Dami.
By Dami,
Straight
okay.
up. So I just avoid the whole, how's it pronounced? Am I pronouncing it well?
Okay.
So from the onset, hi, I'm Dami. For some strange reason, Dami just flows well. Once I say Dami, there's no mix-up. When I was in Nigeria, I didn't used to like people calling me Dami because I felt Dami was a short form of Damilola. Or most people that are called Damilola are the ones that go by Dami.
Okay.
So it was when I came here, that's when I started using Dami.
So in Nigeria, you were using
Dari.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hi, Dari. I think. Hi, Dari. I think I actually like that. There is a Nigerian musician that his name is Dari, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's his name. Is probably your name too.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? Probably. Okay, that's interesting. How are you feeling? We are literally in a new year, 2023. How are you feeling?
Fine. It's been a good year. I mean, it's been a roller coaster. I had exams, thesis, then work. So it's been a lot.
Yeah.
I feel that's one of the reasons why I kind of broke down health-wise, but I'm bouncing back.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. You're feeling good now because when we talked first, you're like, you know, I said, what happened?
Feeling much better now.
Okay, thank God for that. Well, I have some icebreaker questions for you. Okay. Okay, so we were talking about football, World Cup, just before we started this video. Now you're in Lithuania. We are playing basketball here. So football or basketball?
Funny thing, basketball. It's not something you hear from many Nigerians, but anyone that knows me, I'm crazy about the NBA.
Who's your is it favorite player or icon in the
favorite
game?
NBA player? Kawhi Leonard. I like his personality. His personality is very cold. He's not your regular celebrity. He doesn't have social media. He can have a world-class moment on the court. Maybe eat a game-ending shot, and he doesn't smile. He just walks off the court.
He
doesn't smile. His teammates are jubilating, and he's just walking out of the court. Doesn't do interviews. There was a picture they caught him. It was acting like it was checking something on his iPad. The iPad was locked. He just was avoiding talking with people. So I like him. And he's a two-way player, so he plays the offensive part well, and he's also a good defensive player. So I like him.
I'm definitely gonna check him out after this one. Oh, but now he's not on social media.
I mean, you'll see a few articles about him.
Okay, so how is important his personality? Because now you mentioned that his personality is like a big thing for you.
So you mean like his impact, the personality impact on the game?
He's playing well, but we have like very well-known NBA players that we know. If you said it, I'm like, I know that guy. But how important is personality for you? I was also watching a video earlier, and someone said the presenter is why I watched that video. Not really because of you could find the same information somewhere else, but I'm watching this video because of the personality of this person. So how important is that?
So now that you mentioned it, I just realized I did a quick scan in my head, and I realized there are a lot of things I do and I like them due to the personalities. So there's this news outlet I follow, WION. I used to follow them just because of the presenter. She's Indian. It's an Indian news outlet. I loved her delivery. And when she stopped, I think she quit. I kept on following, but I wasn't actively following as I used to. So I later realized it was her. She was pretty much the one drawing me to the news outlet. So now that you mentioned it, I think personality is a key thing. Once I buy into your personality, I like you.
You just
keep going.
Well, my next one is, what is one thing you cannot live without?
One thing I can't live without. One thing. I mean, I want to say family. I don't know if that counts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it will be family. I'm crazy about family. I'm crazy about family. I pretty much can do anything for my family. I like when we're in a good space. I have this very close knitted family. It's a family of 5 parents and 3 kids. I'm the youngest.
Okay.
But I'm crazy for family.
Oh.
Yeah. crazy for family.
Even as a last born, because last born, they've attacked us too much. Last born syndrome, last born this, last born that. Were you pampered first of all?
So yes, last born, I was pampered. I grew up in a family whereby my parents gave us their whole. Like I went to the best schools. When I was in university, I went to a federal university. The pocket money I was getting was, way more than I needed for maybe 2 months, and I was getting it in a month. It wasn't like, we're fancy rich. My parents are civil servants and all, but they gave their family all. So for some reason, I think I got that from them, and because of that, I so much love and appreciate family, and I like it because I feel it would end up translating to my family once I start one.
Okay, we're gonna get into family later. So you said you went to the best schools, like your parents made sure that you went to the best. What did you study?
So I studied chemical engineering at Federal University of Technology, Mina. Yeah, but for my primary school, I went to Mitech, which was like the best and expensive school in the whole of Ugudu at the time.
How did you get into IT? You said you studied chemical engineering, and now you're doing information security.
So I fresh out of university, got my first job, customer service at a bank. Then did that for like a year and 3 months.
Yeah.
Applied for a graduate training in another bank, got in, went through the 6-month graduate training course, after which we were meant to choose departments. So I chose cybersecurity. Prior to the time, I wanted to be a developer. So I was like, okay, I had 3 options. I had data analytics, software development, and cybersecurity. I didn't know much about cybersecurity at the time. 2018 was a generally new concept to me. You hear hacking and all, but I didn't really know what the cybersec team were doing. When I realized and found out what cybersecurity teams do in terms of securing organization, I felt, this a good avenue to make money and also have impact in your organization. So I chose cybersecurity and I got it.
That's quite interesting. I feel that not many people know that there is executive training. How do you get into this kind of executive training?
Okay, so the way it works is a lot of organizations, what they try to do is they try to create a sort of career path whereby they recruit or employ young graduates, maybe fresh out of uni. Most times there's always a age band of like 26, but I think now they've expanded it to like 28. So they employ you, you go through a training school. Once you excel, they bring you into the organization and you're sort of on like an accelerated path towards management. That's usually the end goal. Once you come into a graduate training program, the idea is they are grooming you for managerial positions in a short period of time, 5-10 years. As long as you keep doing well, chances of you, and you stay within the same organization, chances of you being a manager in it's high within a shorter period than people that come in via other means.
Avenues,
so that's the idea. Those positions are always advertised out there. Most times they come with the brand name graduate trainee, executive trainee. But yeah, they come with very fancy names.
It can be scary for someone that doesn't know when they hear graduate training, jarring for someone to be like, maybe I'm not qualified to get into that kind of position. Do you feel that could happen?
Yes, it did happen to me. Reason is, so the way it works is when you go into those training programs, because you'll be taking exams, you'll be taking lectures, you can fail out. And when you fail out, you're back to square zero. When I joined, I was, like I said, a customer service representative. I was already earning, I think, around 85,000 naira. So I mean, for a young person, I wasn't paying rent. I was doing fine. But then I saw the opportunity and I was like, okay, I have to quit this job and go for this. This is not a sure gig. If I fail out of it, I'm starting afresh. But then I spoke with a friend at the time, Iduma Emmanuel. Shout out to him. He was already finishing the program at the time. So when I spoke to him, I was like, guy, we went to the same university, same course. I was like, guy, you'll be fine. Don't worry, just do it. It's demanding. You have to take roughly 30 to 35 exams within 5 to 6 months, but you'll be fine. So after that conversation, I went to his house. I was scared when I got in, but I left more confident because when I got in, he was reading for his credit presentation, and the books you get in training school are massive, like terribly massive. They give you books there as well. They give you books. They give you all the materials you need. Books, biro, pen, pencils, like you get everything you need. So I saw the material and I was like, how do you guys read this? I was like, don't worry, forget about the volume. You'll be good. And leaving his house at the time, I felt confident about, the decision I was making. Yeah. It was a 50-50 thing. So that uncertainty, I think it affects people. Yeah. Because, like I said, take for instance, you're already in a comfortable space and now you have to quit that job, go for a training, which you don't know if you would excel at. So that could be scary for people. Yeah. It was for me.
It's scary to jump into something new, but did you have any backup Like, obviously, you said you were not paying rent. So were you living at home at the time?
I was living with my sister.
Okay.
So I mean, I was like, if I fail out, we'll start out fresh. I still had age on my side at the time. So I was like, I'll find something to do.
So do you keep that same mentality? Like, I'm going to take a chance on myself, or has it changed now? Do you still have like...
Yeah, I still take those sort of decisions, and I'm like, yeah, let's give it a shot. So I have the mindset of what's the worst that will happen. I ask myself this question when I want to make certain decisions. You have everything to gain and, maybe nothing to lose. So if it works out well, you have a lot to gain. If it doesn't, you go back to ground zero.
To learn and at the end of the day, you learn something, right?
You learn something.
You worked in Nigeria after you finished this executive training program. How long did you work in Nigeria?
I worked in Nigeria for 3 years as a cybersecurity guy, then 1.5 years as customer service representative.
I did customer service job as well previously. So customer service job is Jesus Christ.
It's a lot.
People don't talk about. I mean, obviously, people regard it as the low job.
It's a lot.
But because you're not going anywhere, are you gonna end the call? Because you're trying to make sure that the customer is happy. So you're really learning to have conversations. Go here, go there. I think it's such a great way to start your career. Do you feel the same way about that?
Yes, I do. Whenever I attend interviews, one of the things I mention is the fact that I used to be a customer service representative. And the reason why I mentioned that during my interviews is I try to let the interviewer know that I'm good when it comes to communication. I understand the importance of internal and external customers. And I also build emotional intelligence while working on that job. So that's one of the reasons why I mentioned that. Then I now go into the general, I'm a cybersecurity analyst.
It would challenge you. It's fun. It's actually fun because most people, you're always talking with your colleagues about the crazy customer that called and I have my colleagues will always take pictures of me when somebody's complaining, and I have like world-class facial expressions, and I still have some of those pictures now, and it's so funny. But seriously, like, I think customer service, we really need to give rep to the customer service specialists because it takes a lot for them to be there emotionally. Like, sometimes you go home, you can feel that customer that really said it. You can feel the pain, at home. So I think it's such a very strenuous job, and I don't think they give enough credit to customer service specialists. I know some people hide that they're customer service specialists. They're not happy to share that they do that job. Why do you think that is, though?
Well, I do not know. Truth be told, I've been through that as well. There was a time I was going to expunge it from my CV, but I did not. But there was actually a time when I was remodeling my CV. I already felt I had like almost 4 years experience in cybersec. I can as well do away with this, but it's still there, still on my CV, it's still on my LinkedIn. I'm proud of it. Like I said, it was my first job. I learned a lot of things, and one thing I appreciate is it makes me understand when I'm speaking to customer service people now. I'm very respectful. I understand where they're coming from. I understand that sometimes they can't actually solve whatever is going on. It's beyond them. They have to escalate it, and you just have to wait the process out.
Yeah. Oh my God. I think we are setting some people free right now because so in IT, you work as an IT security specialist. What exactly, what do you guys do as IT security people?
So different departments. Cybersecurity it has multiple domains. So you have the guys that are monitoring in the organization, and what we are doing is we're trying to detect abnormalities. We are trying to detect if there's an intruder. Once you detect, that's when you can actually now start pushing them out. We have the guys that are proactive. What they are doing is they're actually trying to bridge into the organization. Just what an hacker would normally do is so what they are trying to do. They are the red teams. So if they're able to succeed, whatever vulnerability they exploited or weakness they exploited to get in, now we know it exists and you can fix it. Then we have the general guys that are in charge of like governance, policies. So they write policies for the organizations to make sure that everybody is aware of, okay, these are the do's, these are the don'ts. So various departments. You have people that before an application goes out, what they do is they test it to make sure it meets certain security standards. Yeah, we have those guys. So it's various.
It sounds very interesting to me. You work as a cybersecurity. The people that you mentioned, some of the teams that are writing policies, do they have to have IT skills as well?
They need to understand.
Like coding, they need to understand.
They need to understand what they are writing policies on. You need to know what you're writing on, because take for instance, there are certain certifications organizations go through. E.g., a bank does a PCI DSS certification. So it's just about banking cards, transactions. So you need to know what it entails, the assets that need to be secure, what you are writing policies. So they need to understand that the domain before they can prepare the organization for recertification. So yeah. Problem. Well, I see it as a problem. In the sense that you're always learning.
You always have to keep up.
Yes, there's no breathing space. The threat landscape is ever evolving. The hackers are becoming better. So you as a defender, you need to catch up. So that's where I see as the problem. You take a certification exercise to broaden your knowledge, and the next minute you're trying to learn something else. So yeah, you're always learning. There's no rest for the wicked.
I know, well, that's actually true, because they're always looking for you, right? And you have to kind of keep up. If you want to make sure they don't have rest, you have to keep up to make sure they don't have rest.
That's pretty much it. So that's just the only challenge. You can't stay 6 months. I'm not learning anything new. You just realize, okay, take for instance now, people I'm very keen on cloud security now. So before, because cloud is relatively a new concept, and for you to be able to secure the cloud, you need to first understand the cloud, which is the phase I'm going through now. Then I'll move into the phase of now securing the cloud. So it's crazy.
And I think you explained it like really, really well as well. Like there are different aspects and different things that you can do, even though you're still in the IT security world. It's not just one thing, only securing the data. Okay. How did you come to Lithuania?
Very interesting story.
Yeah.
So the goal was Sweden, right? There's I already gained admission at I think Stockholm University, information security. That was the original goal. The fees was expensive, so the plan was get a scholarship. I didn't get a scholarship, so I was like, okay, if I'm going to fund this would be a big problem, but would get by. The fee for a semester for a year was 10,000 euros, and my program was for 2 years. So that was an headache I was having at the time. That was 2019. No, I think it was 2020 or 2021. I can't remember. 2021. So in April that year, I'd already gained my admission at Stockholm University. I already knew that I wasn't getting the scholarship. A friend called me, Emmanuel, and it was like, hey, hi, what's up? We went to the same university. Futmina blessed me with a lot of amazing people, honestly. So we were having a conversation, and I was like, guy, where are you? He said he's in Lithuania. At that time, I'd never heard of the country before. That was in April. So I knew Latvia because of movies. I knew Estonia because Estonia was a global tech hub, but I didn't know Lithuania. I've never heard of the country before in my life. And he's, told me, I'm in Lithuania, this, that. He asked me what I was doing. I told him I was into information security. He was like, come to Lithuania. Like, okay, why? He said tuition is cheap, and master students can work full time. I told him, say no more. I just told him, say no more, because that was the challenge I had with the UK. The challenge I had with the UK at the time was fees was expensive, and I would have to do other jobs to get by. I have no issues with those kind of jobs as long as it's just to get by. But when he said I could keep on working full time, I was like, okay, good. We ended the conversation, and I started my research on, okay, what is this Lithuania country? Where is it? What's the population? General research, did YouTube searches. That was where I came across your channel, and I think 2 other channels owned by Nigerians in Lithuania. I started watching videos where you spoke about, culture shock. There's a video you made about working part-time jobs. There's a video, watched a whole lot of YouTube videos because I needed to know what I was getting myself into. And that was one thing I would always advise people traveling abroad. Do your research, have a plan, have a backup plan. Have a backup plan to that backup plan. Because traveling abroad is no joke. I mean, things can go really smoothly for you. It did for me, but things can, be a bit more difficult than you planned. So just having another plan would, help a lot. So that was it. I applied for my admission in May. I gained admission in May, started the whole process. My visa came out in August. As at the time my visa was coming out, I already had a job offer in Lithuania as well, which is why my story is sort of interesting, and I said I did struggle.
Okay. So you get admission. I'm going to study. I'm doing the process. Then you get a job. Wait, did you start looking for a job during the time?
So I needed to be sure of what I was getting myself into. So what I did was one random day, I just went on LinkedIn. I was like, cybersecurity job, location, Lithuania, send. And I saw like 83 jobs. In my head, I was like, I can get one of these 83 jobs. I just felt like, it can't be that bad. So I felt, okay, let's run searches. So I think that day I applied for like 10 different jobs. I was still in Nigeria, but at the time, one smart thing I did then was I already changed my address on my CV to my university dormitory's address. So I was presenting in front of, I was already in Lithuania. I think that was what made me get interviews because I got 2 interviews from that process. I got the 2 jobs, but I got one while I was in Nigeria, the other one when I'd already arrived. So that was one tip I did then. I got interviewed for the jobs. Interview went well, got an offer before leaving Nigeria, got the second offer like 2 weeks after arriving in Lithuania. So it was a matter of choosing which to work for.
You got 2 jobs before you even arrived to Lithuania.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you did to get those jobs?
For me, it was a matter of one, like I said, knowing the domains I wanted, prepared my CV. One of the things I did a lot of research for Lithuania. So I realized, I don't know how important or how much role it played, but I realized there's this CV format they use in the European Union. It's called Europass.
Yes.
So you just go into their website, input your details, and it generates a weird-looking CV to you.
Yeah.
So I add that CV. So I don't know how much role that played into it. Then LinkedIn is my best friend. I sort of utilize it well. Did my search, filtered the jobs. I felt I could, because it was my first job, so I needed to be sure that I was shooting straight. I wasn't, I've been doing blue team activities all my life. Then I come to Lithuania and say, okay, I want to become a pen tester. It doesn't work. So I looked for jobs within the space I was comfortable in, whereby I knew that once I get an interview, getting an interview is difficult. Now, it won't be nice for you to get that interview and you mess up. Yeah, so that's the first difficult stage is even getting called for the interview. So I needed to be sure that, okay, these jobs, once I get the interview, I'm well prepared and I'm going to nail it. And that was it for me.
Yeah.
LinkedIn was my friend. Then I used, there's this website, Work in Lithuania. I think that was where I saw my current employer. It was from Work in Lithuania website.
Yeah. They have good jobs then, especially like for companies that are trying to hire foreigners.
That was where I saw my job actually. It wasn't from LinkedIn. It was from Work in Lithuania.
What about LinkedIn tips? Because you said you're utilizing it well.
Well, LinkedIn tips, one, you need to update things, like posts, make comments. It shows your profile into, there are a few people have seen their profile. It should just be a matter of, this person liked something. So you click on such profile. That's a way to utilize these things. And I set this, I had to disable it at a time. So what I did was I set job notifications weekly alerts. So at the end of the week, I think Fridays was when those alerts drops. It just drops into my email. So it's a matter of looking through the job postings and see which one is interesting. You click apply. So that way, you sort of set a reminder that, guy, every Friday we do job posting.
Yeah.
So during the week, you can go on with your day-to-day without having to always panic on, I've not checked job posting. Friday, Saturdays are for my job applications. Yeah. So that's another approach you can take.
Wow. I'm so happy, with the way that you came, because someone is watching this video and they're thinking, I'm in Nigeria, how am I going to get a job? But you were coming to study, but you changed it around and came to work. How important it is for people, in career, whatever, to have, people that can talk to in the same field, like mentorship and things like that.
It's no joke. I'm blessed in that regard. I told you, I went to training school. We're about 20 that got deployed into the cybersecurity department. At the time when I joined, we were all young guys. Maybe the oldest would have been 25. So I still keep a close connection with those guys. I do a lot of consultation with them, brainstorming. We challenge ourselves. One gets a certification, it comes and is like, oh, I just did this. These are the things I gained. I feel you guys should do it. You would achieve a lot from it. We pick up the challenge. Before I know it, in the next 3 months, a few of them have gotten the same. I'm currently preparing for a certification now. Two of my guys, one got his this month. The other got it, I think, some few months back. So I've gotten challenged. I've gotten into conversations with them. What was the study plan you guys used? which materials were helpful.
Yeah.
I've gotten all of those information. It's a matter of me to now execute. So mentorship, having people that are even maybe on the same level with you, but they're in different domains in security, very important, because you there's a whole lot to learn. But in terms of regular mentorship, a few people have extended a hand to, saying, hello, I want to be a mentee. I found out that they're not necessarily good at mentoring. They just give you, I mean, I'm asking you a direct question. Hello, I want to get into DevSecOps, you know, can you help me out? And I'm getting something very, you know, like generic. You're giving me links to certain things to go and watch, and, you know, they are not helpful. So in terms of the general mentorship culture in Nigeria, I think there's, you know, a lot of room to grow. I've experienced the same thing here in Lithuania, whereby I reached out to a few, you know, white colleagues, and I'm like, you know, can you help with mentorship? And I'm not getting the energy or what I want out of it. So I probably, it's not a Nigerian thing. Probably it's just a global thing. People that have been there, done that, they probably don't know how to go about downloading a roadmap for you. It could be that.
I agree, because I have the same experience. I have mentors, but I've also reached out to some people. I'm like, I don't understand what you're doing here. But I think some people don't, even as a mentor, some mentors don't actually know what their responsibility is. They don't know what it means to be a mentor.
Right.
And some mentees have no clue what it means to be a mentee.
Or what they need
what they need. So what do you think that people need to look out for when you are looking for a mentor, and also if you want to be a mentee to someone?
So being a mentor, mentee now, from the mentee approach, because that's pretty much what I'm doing at the moment. The idea is know what you want. Then once you know what you want, you need to look for someone that's been there, done that, has a track record. Reach out to the person. Most times such people, you meet them on LinkedIn, probably don't have an existing relationship with them, or you could go for a conference, meet those kind of people. You have to reach out and state what you want, clearly defined. Hello, I am this, I have experience in XYZ. I want to transition into this. I see you are grounded in that space, and I would like for you to mentor me if you have the time. So if the person has the time, yes, the person will reach out. So from the mentor part now, I mean, I've done a few mentoring, and once the person reaches out, you have to understand, I mean, you're experienced in that field, you know the fundamental things that the person needs to understand. So all you need to do is try to download at least, okay, so these are the foundational elements of this field you want to transition into. You need to get this thing sorted first, then we talk. So you give them, take for instance, someone comes to meet me, I want to transition into cybersecurity. I know courses I would recommend to you, videos, Professor Mensah videos to watch. Why I'm recommending this is I want you to first build a foundational knowledge in the space. Once you've done that, we can now start building on the said, you know, foundation. For the mentor, try to, you know, build foundational knowledge in the mentee, then you guys can work on from there.
Fresh air. Fresh air. Okay, you said it's good to have backup plan and backup plan for that backup plan. What does that mean? What kind of backup plan do you have to travel out of Nigeria? Do you need to put in place?
Okay, so the first thing is you need to know where your fees is coming from in case. So my program is a 2-year program, which meant I had to pay for the first year. But the second year, you can pay, you know, later. So I needed to know where that fee is coming from in case things don't go according to plan. If you can't pay your fees, you're going back to your country. So you need to know what's up. My plan was, you know, I would get a job, then from the job, I'll be able to work my way to pay the fees. But then in case all of this don't happen,
what happens?
What's your backup plan? Backup plan is to call home. Mommy, daddy, how far?
You have to speak it in Yoruba now.
You will borrow me another 5,000 euros. Oh. No school fees though. So that was one. Then the second backup plan I had was, while coming abroad, the idea was I want to get a professional job, right? Continue my career. While learning, I didn't want a career gap, right? But at the same time, I was like, I did not get a job on time. I was going to do the whole part-time job thing. And my backup plan at the time was Bolt Food. I like that job. What I like about it is the fact that you can choose when you want to work. So I knew it wasn't going to interfere with school. And I like the idea of I can decide I want to do 1 hour today. Tomorrow I want to kill myself and do 10 hours. So that was like my backup part-time job. And it's not a job where you need to apply. It's a job of you wake up, you say you are ready, you go to their portal, I want to start delivering food, and you get it. So that was like my backup plan. If that didn't work, you know, I'll do whatever part-time job I can get, if it's to work in McDonald's. So I already conditioned my mind that these are not bad jobs. These are things I would do if this is what's required for me to get by. That's why the fact that you are, big boy back home, you are abroad, you don't know anybody. You will deliver this food. I already prepared myself, so I didn't have any. If I had to do them, I wouldn't have had any issue because I'd already, fought that battle like way back.
Yeah, I think that's actually very, very important. I mean, having those backup plans, actually thinking through the process. 'Cause I see some people, they come abroad, they don't know where their school fees is coming from. No research, nothing, literally nothing. And you're wondering, how?
They just want to come.
They just want to come. I'm just like, I'm happy that you listed those backup plans. This is going to be the plan.
Because, I mean, I can imagine if, it's time to pay fees and you have just 100 euro savings. This sort of panic mode you would go into, it can get you mental. It can make you go and do stuff you're not supposed to get involved in. Yeah, which you don't want that. So that's why I think it's good to plan.
How important it is for, like, I would say, because we are Nigerians and also Africans, how important it is for us to stay humble when we come abroad? Because in Nigeria, you're living okay. You are working, IT security job, you're doing well. And then, but you come here, you don't know anything, you don't know anybody, you don't have all that money anymore. Things are different. How important it is to remain humble, even like after you've left your comfort zone to a new place.
Humility is key in the sense that, like you mentioned, you're soft where you're coming from. I was soft, no joke. You need to precondition your mind that this is a foreign land. And one thing that made, decisions like, doing part-time job, kitchen jobs easy for me was the fact that I felt I don't know anybody. Everybody, I just had this feeling that everybody in Europe too, one way or the other, they're hustling for, their future and well-being. So I'm like, I'd rather just get these things out of the way, do them now so that the future will be soft or softer than, bringing a whole lot of pride into this current situation. And at the end of the day, they're still struggling 3, 4, 5 years down the line. So it's a matter of, just be humble, do what needs to be done, try to hustle now so that, down the line, you're living a more comfortable, peaceful life.
Okay, so you're the last born. I'm gonna go back to that one. And family is important to you.
Yeah, very.
Would you like to get married one day? Are you married?
No, I'm not married. That's the goal. That's the plan. However, the idea for me in marriage is, you need to get it right. Luckily, I come from a background where no one's pressuring me at the moment.
Okay.
Once in a while.
Not your matter yet.
No, once in a while, mom chips it in. My dad very, doesn't really mention it. So, the goal is to have a family one day. A very close-knitted family. Time down the line.
Have you tried dating in Lithuania?
Nah.
No?
I mean, I think we have Lithuanian friends.
You don't have time yet. You're doing, but once you finish your masters in June, you have some time. And then would you look around? No, you're not yet.
No.
Or is there something stopping you, or you're just like taking a break from?
Yeah, there's something stopping me.
Oh, okay. Do you want to share what's stopping you?
Someone is stopping me.
Someone.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it God?
No, not God. Human being.
Human being. How is that possible? Why is the person stopping you? Are they principality and power?
No.
So you have someone?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So that's why you've not started dating. You're not dating a Lithuanian. Well, you already have someone, so you need to date.
I was just answering your question. Do you want to date a Lithuanian? No.
Okay.
Why? Somebody.
Okay.
I was giving answers to your question.
All right. Mabido, oh my goodness. So now, I asked you, is this somebody God? Do you have a relationship with God here in Lithuania?
Yes. However, not as much as I would have loved to.
Okay.
I mean, it's one of the key things my partner, is on my neck for. She's always striving and pushing me to have a better relationship with God. Yeah, so that's that. But I want to build a better relationship with Him. There's this thing that happens when you're in a comfortable space. You get to feel you don't have much problems. How it is back home now. Many times it's problem that is to push us to God. So when you're in sort of a comfortable space, you can get carried away, and you don't get to reach out to Him as much as you'd love to. But it's a work in progress thing. It's a journey I'm also taking one step at a time.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing, making sure that you are taking the step, like being consistently like in that journey and not just backing off. And I was listening to a message on my way before this video started, and I remember the person preaching said that most of us, we want to serve God because something is wrong and we know that He's going to help us.
True.
But God is good all the time. And we should worship Him because He is good, not because of what He would do for us, not because of what He has done for us, but just because of who He is. And I think that mentality kind of keeps you pursuing God, because even when things are good, God is still good. Even when things are bad, God, his character has not shifted. God is still good. So yeah, I wish you the best, definitely, in pursuing that journey. And what would you tell someone that is coming to Lithuania today, whether they're coming to study, whether they're coming to work, whatever it is? What would you tell them?
So it would be, do your research.
Yeah.
Make sure you have a plan, and like I mentioned earlier, have a backup plan. Lithuania is an amazing country. There's a lot of opportunities. But and when you eventually get here, stick to what brought you here. Stick to the plan, and success is guaranteed.
If you get a better opportunity, would you leave after your studies?
Definitely, I'm gonna.
You're open to.
Yeah. I don't see myself. I mean, I have engaged conversations with people where I mentioned, I plan to leave Lithuania, and they're like, why don't you just stick out the 5 years and get your PR? And I'm like, no, 5 years is too long to stay here. Once I'm not currently searching, but once I'm done with my program and an opportunity comes knocking, it has to be in certain countries though, because I can't go to another country and start counting another 5 years. So it has to be a country where I'm sure that I plan to stay here for the next 5-10 years. I mean, if the opportunity comes, I'll definitely take it. I'd have loved to, stay in Lithuania, but I feel for me to properly integrate into the community, I need to learn the local language, and Lithuania is not a language I plan to learn.
Okay. Yeah. Why?
I'd rather, no offense to anyone, but I'd rather learn German, Spanish, French, languages that are spoken wider, and that will give me much more opportunities. So that's, I mean, for when I want to do things, there's always, a plan, end game. So I'd rather focus that energy on learning those languages I mentioned, which I know can give me better shots in, other economy or society.
The more you talk, the more I have so many questions for you. Final questions for you. Finishing statements that you're gonna have to finish. Okay, the first one is, my life in 2023 will be
the best yet.
The best yet. Oh, I like that. I like that. The best yet.
Yeah, I have a few things I'm cooking, and once they get done, I mean 2023 would be perfect.
Okay, I like that. Best yet, because 2024 is gonna be better. As long as God keeps us alive there, you're gonna have a better year.
That's the idea.
The second one is, IT security job is
beautiful. Beautiful in the sense that what you do gives you fulfillment. I feel very fulfilled knowing I'm keeping my organization safe. Yeah, so I feel fulfilled, and it gives me a lot of beauty.
That's amazing. Okay, I'm gonna add the last one, because now we're working on your relationship with God.
Okay.
God is
kind and patient.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
God is kind and patient.
Wow. Amen.
He has been, and God is good.
Yes.
I mean, I can go on. God has been faithful, regardless of my relationship with Him. He has been faithful. Wherever I am, I do not regard it as an issue of good, or I strategically positioned myself that way. It's all Him. If I'm being honest, I usually give glory back to Him, because certain decisions are difficult to make, but after consulting, praying, you get clarity.
Yeah.
It gives clarity on a whole lot of things when you seek His name. It does.
Yes.
Speaking of someone that does not have as much relationship as he wants, I know that's one of the things that even drive me and pushes me to wanting to establish a better relationship.
Yeah, that blessed me too. Amen. Clarity. I think, because I agree, I think that's amazing. Well, thank you so much, Dami, for coming on this channel. I loved this conversation, and I hope that you love sharing your journey. And yeah, guys, thank you so much. Where can people find you? I mean, now you're on LinkedIn. I don't want people to go searching for you and say, can you be my mentor? Can you help me this? But where can people find you if they want to find you?
LinkedIn, Instagram. I don't do much of Facebook anymore. Until I got here, I found out they use Messenger here a lot.
Yeah,
but it's usually Facebook, LinkedIn. Those are the platforms I am on.
Okay, so make sure to check the description box. You'll find all the details for Dami. Thank you again for coming. And guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.